opened up a little bit there.
Jarrett is in third. Now the other car there, the blue and gold number 9, Lake Speed, who nearly hit the wall there. He is not on the
home stretch.
On the main
Big crash.
straightaway. You've got Dallenbach, Brett Bodine involved. Others spinning are Jimmy Spencer on the main straightaway. Caution, lap 456. And now,
look at Terry Labonte. He's going to try to make up a lap on his teammate now. It's up to the lead car there to beat him back to the start-finishing line. He's not going to quite make it.
Not going to do it. Missed by that much. Pit road is closed. We have, you see there, Spencer climbing from his car. Oh, Jimmy's going right over to Dallenbach. Oh, and he's got problems with Wally.
Ooh, don't do that.
Jimmy Spencer.
Steve Peterson with him, telling him calm down.
There's Buster Auten, the man walking with Spencer. Jimmy just enraged. You saw him bound out of his car and quickly run over to Dallenbach. Spencer, Musgrave, Brett Bodine was in there. There's Wally, and Wally says,
oh, and the conversation continues. I'll cross those two guys off each other's Christmas card list.
So, lap 456 under caution. Now, Brett Bodine, he was involved. Let's look at it again because it happened behind the leaders.
Spencer on the outside, he gets touched right there by Wally Dallenbach. That triggers the whole deal. Look at Jeff Bodine getting by on the outside there. He gets hit in the back.
It was starting in front of him.
Brett
Bodine was ahead of him, and it had already started right in front of him when Spencer in the 15 got into it. I mean, everybody was all together still after that restart period.
Let's go down to pit lane. Randy is walking with Wally Dallenbach.
Well, he's obviously a bit peeved. I'll try and get a quick word with him. Wally, are you okay, and what happened?
I'm fine. I don't know. 23 gets in a wreck and takes half of us with him. Typical deal. You know, we had a good car. I think we were running the top 16 and 17. And these lap guys just, you know, they want you to get out of your way when you're lapped down. But when they're a couple laps down, they sit there and they race you all day long.
Okay, that's it from Wally Dallenbach.
So tempers just a tad short. Jimmy Spencer, in the last dozen races since we were here, has moved up 7 spots in the standings to 12th. Let's see what happens if maybe Andretti's camera can help us. And tough to tell what might have triggered it.
Go bumping. Okay, get on back through there now. Go, go.
We'll take another look here. At this point, that accident is already pretty much underway.
Look at Ted Musgrave. Wow, nowhere to go.
This front straightaway not quite as self-cleaning as the back straightaway is here.
Well, it was where it happened at. A lot of the cars really went to the bottom and stayed there, but
let's watch it again now.
Spencer in the yellow and purple car on the outside there. You see him make contact right there.
But see, it happened right in front of him. Just before they made contact, the 11 car of Bodine, you could see some tire smoke. He'd rubbed up against another car. So maybe...
Doctor, that was two wrecks.
Two wrecks, yeah.
Two separate wrecks.
I agree. Maybe we can rack it back one more time and look. But I agree with Buddy. Those were 2 wrecks that happened simultaneously. And we'll take another look. But Jimmy Spencer, little perturbed. Tempers are short with 41 laps to go. Welcome back, everybody. We've got 40 laps remaining, and we'll take another look at exactly what happened to discuss whether these are 2 incidents or what. Now, right there, you see Schrader up front. There they touch. 25 and 11 touch there. There you've got Dallenbach and Spencer. Now, did either of those guys check up maybe when they saw smoke from the 25 and the 11? You know, we'll have to find out from the guys in the garage area. But at first blush, it looks like two separate, unrelated incidents.
Hey, it was the other guy's fault.
I bet he knows.
Yeah, it's Jimmy. He's talking things over. Travis Carter there on the left of the screen. He is the crew chief, team manager. That's Bobby Maston in the forefront from R.J. Reynolds and Buster Otten, the NASCAR official. Jimmy Spencer, a little bit, as we saw, upset, bounced right out of his Smokin' Joe's machine, went right over to Wally Dallenbach, and with the net still up.
He just tugged on the net, though. He didn't put it down or do anything. He got away from there pretty quick with the NASCAR assistant.
Now, Brett is still running. Brett Bodine is on the racetrack. He's got a good bit of damage to the Lowe's machine, but he's back in 27, 6 laps down, but he is running. So we are going to continue here. You can see Brett just going right by there. Pit road is going to open up now for the lead lap cars, those who might choose to make a stop here with 39 miles to go. Caution for the 11th time. There you see the Smokin' Joe's entry for Jimmy Spencer. Had a pretty decent run going today.
Yeah, he did.
Really did. Among those on the lead lap, only the cars near the back are going to pit. They have nothing to lose. Bobby Hillen and Bobby Hamilton, 11th and 12th laps. Last two guys on the lead lap, they're pitting. There's Ted Musgrave's car, the Family Channel Ford, getting caught up. So you got Jeff Burton from Roush Racing in the garage early. You've got Musgrave from Roush in the garage now, and you got Mark Martin, who is running in 5th spot on the lead lap. So 1/3 of the hope still remains. 462 of 500 laps are complete. We're back to finish the MBNA 500 in a moment. We are back looking at Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevrolet, leading the MBNA 500. We do want to mention that we did make an effort and offer Jimmy Spencer airtime to explain his side of what happened, especially in light of the scathing comments on the part of Wally Dallenbach. Jimmy Spencer declined our offer to step on the air, but we do want to make it clear that we did offer Jimmy the opportunity, and he respectfully declined. Meanwhile, Ted Musgrave, who had absolutely nowhere to go, is in the garage area. Let's get his thoughts.
Well, first of all, Ted, it's good to see that you're all right. You absolutely had nowhere to go and killed that car.
I've hit worse at Dover, haven't I? That was just it, you know. I had a 3 car on the outside of me and an 81 car. And when I came through the smoke, I had the brakes locked up, but the 15 car was completely sideways right in front of me, and there was just nowhere to go. And I hate it for the Family Channel Prime Star car. I thought we were going to get a good top 10 out of it, but tell everybody back home, my mom and everybody, we're fine.
That's it from Ted Musgrave. Tough break for him today. He had a good run going.
For those of you tuning in, hoping to see Rick Benjamin and their race day, a mid-afternoon version today. Obviously, we are running overtime here because of the 11 cautions and fairly lengthy ones at that. If time permits, prior to the start of drag racing, you'll be seeing race day. But we are not going anywhere. We got to bring you the finish of this one. 36 miles to go.
Just before this last wreck, Rusty Wallace looked to be the car to beat. He pulled right up on Jeff Gordon. Will he have it now after this little pitch?
Green flag is in the air. 35 miles remaining.
Well, look at late speed, get in between them. Rusty did not get a good start at all.
Lake speed, the first car a lap down in 13th. Riding with Mark Martin in 5th. Get down the
I was just looking at that speed shot. 175 miles an hour these cars run down the straightaway here. They are really getting around this place. What a great racetrack to come and watch a race. You see the stands are still full. Nobody's left this event.
I know. We had a quick glimpse of Bobby Labonte there. He is currently running in the 4th spot. He was the pole sitter today. a good ways back from the lead, but in fourth.
Lake Speed there is second on the track, but he is not in second place. He's a lap down. And you see Rusty right now losing valuable time to Jeff Gordon, who's leading the race at this moment. Look at Dale Jarrett come up, though.
Jarrett just waiting, but let's get the interval for you. From first back to second now, already 7/10 of a second. And the factor here, too, is with this restart, it's going to be many, many, many laps before they start lapping the cars again. So Gordon's got himself a pretty comfortable, clean racetrack with which to race.
We had a report from the pits that Rusty Wallace had a problem with the, when he started to accelerate, something was wrong with the carburetor, and it kind of gagged on him on the start there, and he got a terrible start.
He sure did. 32 laps to go. He's got a lot of distance to make up, and he's not gaining any ground at all with Lake Speed in front of him, that lap car.
Wally Dallenbach, meanwhile, comes out of the garage after repairs to the Hayes Modems car.
Oh, trouble.
Trouble up in the corner. Oh, a big fire underneath the Derek Cope entry as he comes to a stop, as you see.
Caution is out.
Caution at lap number 471 as the Badcock Furniture car has problems, though clearly Derek Cope okay.
And Lake Speed went by at 24. Did he do it in time?
I'll have to double check. There's Derek Cope shaking up just a bit. Very honestly, didn't see what started that incident. Car just broke loose up there.
Eli, you can see the right front corner is completely mashed in on that car, so he hit very hard, apparently in turn 3 over there.
He'd already hit the wall one time earlier today.
And Derek Cope was involved in that same caution with Dale Earnhardt back at lap 277. They weren't involved together, but that was 2 incidents under the same yellow flag. So at lap 471, we remain under caution. This one for the 12th time today. Derek Cope from Spanaway, Washington. He'll get the ride to the infield care center. That is mandatory if you tag the wall in a NASCAR Winston Cup track. And we'll get an update on Derek here shortly, but clearly he looked okay. We'll take a look now from John Andretti's car. Maybe he can shed some light on what happened to Derek Cope.
I'm front of you. Good job, way to go.
He was on fire before he hit the wall.
Yeah.
It was as if something happened in the right front corner of that car.
So under caution, lap 472, they'll have to clean up from the Derek Cope problems. This race rolls on here in Delaware. We are back at the Monster Mile, 474 laps complete. Let's take a look again at Derek Cope's deal, buddy. It almost looks from one angle that there was a flash of flame before he even broke loose. Watch here as he climbed the banking.
Well, you're going into turn 3 here. You can see just up ahead there. You'll see him
right there,
fan
you
out.
see?
Yeah, there is definitely fire there. I think what he did is a tire went away on him, and he went up like that and knocked the fitting off the fuel pump. It started that fire.
Yeah, but he had a problem before.
And also, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When the tire blew out going in the corner, it made him go up the hill.
Seen that a few times today. One more look. There he is. Tags the wall now. And the flames become far more evident at this point. Field now getting the 1 to go signal, so we are 1 lap away from going green at lap 475. Randy Pemberton is in the garage area with Derek Cope, and Derek looks to be a tad perturbed.
Well, he certainly is. I don't know what happened, but TNN broadcaster and crew chief Larry McReynolds came back here and got into it with Derek Cope. Walked up, pushed him, and Cope was in his face, Larry was in his face, and they were fixing to go at it. And a couple of NASCAR officials stepped in. Cope said, "I'm going to tear you up," and Larry walked away.
Now remember back on lap 200 when Ernie Irvin went into the wall, he was right alongside Derek Cope. Remember that? Remember that? They were together, and we still We heard varying reports as to what happened. Ernie said one thing, Derek threw his two-way radios at another. I bet you that's what it was, dating back to lap 200.
We need to get to the end of this. The tempers are getting pretty ragged out there right now.
We've got Dr. Dick Bergman here. We might need Dr. Ferdy Pacheco before it's over.
Yeah, I'm only a psychologist. I can't do anything about these problems.
Jimmy Spencer back in the Smokin' Joe's car. He's still ticked.
Yeah. Going to be 25 laps to go. Basic Saturday night shootout.
All right, let's see if Rusty Wallace can hang with him this time, whether that blubbering carburetor gives him problems again on the start.
He didn't get a great start, but much better than last time. You can see him. He's just behind Jeff Gordon. Good start down into turn 1. Rusty got a great start that time.
And importantly, he's not going to have to deal with that lap car of Lake Speed either. He's got the leader right in front of him, and that's all he is going to have to deal with, and that makes his job a whole lot simpler.
Rusty Wallace, a 3-time winner here, won them both in 93 and, excuse me, the September race in 93 and both in 94. So he is already a three-peat man here at the Monster Mile.
Watching Jeff Gordon, he's awfully strong. He's pulled out about a 3-car length lead over Rusty Wallace as they go into turn 3. You can see Dale Jarrett closing in just a bit on Rusty Wallace in second.
Chevy and 2 Fords, top 3 spots.
As far as the point men are concerned, the point leader coming in, Terry Labonte, is now being shown 4 laps down in 22nd. Jeff Gordon, the number 2 man in points, is leading the race. Dale Jarrett next in line is in 3rd place. Then Dale Earnhardt is backslid to 14th position, a couple of laps down. There you've got Hillen in 10th in the 77 car. Jeff Bodine in 11th in the QVC number 7. You've got Bobby Hamilton right there in the mix too in the STP Pontiac. There goes Bodine trying to grab 10th spot. Does. And Hamilton will motor on by as well. There's Mike Skinner. Skinner is being shown a couple of laps down in the 20th position.
Well, he's done a solid job today. One of the reasons he's in 20th is he just went into the pits. Did a little work on that race car to try to make the run to the checkered flag. Last year's NASCAR Truck Series champion.
Jimmy Spencer is just pulled from the garage area. He is back on the racetrack. Meanwhile, 5th place, Mark Martin. He's got Rick Mast behind him. There you see the Hooters entry.
Eli, we're going to have a race down here in just a few minutes between the first 4 cars. Bobby Labonte has moved in quite a bit as we see Rick Mast fighting with Mark Martin as they come off turn 2 there. But up front is tightening up just a little bit. All of a sudden, Bobby Labonte has become a player.
Martin 5th, Mast 6th. It's neat after all these miles of racing. Look at how close they are at the end of the event. And now it is up to the drivers. Let's see what they can do.
2.7 seconds from first place back to 5th, rather to 6th, behind Mark Martin and Rick Mast. Caution on the back straightaway. Problems as Robert Presley again has problems. Caution is out. And that is going to be number 13. I think appropriately unlucky number 13 for Robert Presley as he brings out caution at lap number 484. He was in the wall back at 337. He tagged the wall the other end of the speedway also. There's Ward Burton. He's running in 7th. His crew chief, Chris Hussey, has just been named the Western Auto Mechanic of the Race Award winner. So our congratulations to the entire Bill Davis racing team. Ward led today from lap 281 through 319, but then kind of faded just a tad. But Chris Hussey, very talented young crew chief, the Western Auto Mechanic of the Race.
Pretty good mechanic to take a car that starts 33rd and put it in the lead.
There's Robert Presley. The smoke began to billow from the Skoal Bandit coming out of number 2 corner. And the 13th caution of the day. 15 miles to go. We'll have another restart and another chance for Rusty Wallace if he can get by Jeff Gordon. Welcome back, everybody. Under green, we have just gone back to work. Jeff Gordon, the leader. Rusty Wallace right behind him in second. We're down to the final 12 laps of racing. Here goes Rusty.
Rusty looked to the inside, but look at the drive. The 24 car gets down the straightaway.
It was a quick caution after Robert Presley's problems. I'll tell you, Rusty's going to drive the wheels off that baby, trying, that's for sure.
And so is Gordon.
Yep.
They're both going to reach as deep as they possibly can.
Gordon's running a very, very good line, though. He's taking a little bit of that lower line off the two-car of Rusty Wallace. When they go through the corner, he's not running way up the racetrack like he was. He looks in the mirror, you see him come back down there, taking that spot away if Rusty was to try to make the move.
10 laps to go.
He has been running a lot higher on the racetrack than he is now. Rusty dropping back some.
Gordon looking for his 8th win of 1996. And remember, with the win, he would also take over the point lead and win that $70,000 Winston point bonus.
Dale Jarrett's doing a great job today, running in third. Everybody says he don't finish at this racetrack, but look at him now, running in third spot and actually gaining on a two-car Rusty Wallace.
Of course, his best has been 29th, Glenn, in the last 5 Dover races. He's got to be tickled today.
Well, they are in one sense, Eli, but a lot of long faces down here right now. Dale's, this set of tires is a little tight. He needed about a 30 to a 40-lap green flag run before he caught up to these guys, before they came back to him. Right now, the car is just too tight. He's pushing it as hard as he can, but I thought he might have something for him, but like I said, got a tight set of tires this time.
Joe Nemechek, you saw the problems, debris on the track, caution, caution. Joe Nemechek has problems there and has left a good bit of debris behind him in turn 4. There you see it. There's no way you could have overlooked that. So Joe Nemechek to the garage, and that'll be caution number 14 here today at lap number 493.
And they get another chance at another restart. Wow. And Rusty's got to be thinking about that carburetor and the problems he has had restarting. He has not had a really good restart in the last several.
This is going to tie us for the most cautions in this race. There were 14 cautions in 1993, 14 here today. Here's again what happened in Nemechek.
See the tire go flat, straight up the hill. You can see parts of the rubber on the tire flying all over the place. He hits the wall and starts down the front straightaway. He was very lucky he could hold it where he was at.
The track record for cautions was 16 back in 93, the first race of 93. But this event record has been tied. We're right there at 100 laps of caution now. And now we're also within the last 10 laps of the race. So NASCAR has that 10-lap rule. If you're new to the sport, we'll remind you that it will be a single file restart now, only among the teams on the lead lap. So those on the lead lap will only start up front. That's coming up next. Ralph Shaheen and Steve Evans, Bob Fry. If you listen carefully, they're all clearing their voices even as we speak. They'll be taken to the airwaves at the top of the hour. The Pioneer Keystone Nationals for the NHRA Winston drag racing efforts. There's Joe Nemechek. Tough way to end his afternoon. 6 laps in the finish. That's what's coming up for 1997. No change among many. Rick Mast, of course, moving on to Butch Mock's entry. John Andretti's already moved. Morgan Shepherd to start his own team. Derek Cope, some questions whether there's going to be a sponsor there for Bobby Allison to continue. Lake Speed with the University of Nebraska as the sponsor. Is Ricky Craven moving to Schrader's team? Kyle wants to start his own team. Just to look at what's going on towards 1997 as this silly season is now underway. Loy Allen, don't know what will happen with the Health Source team. Robbie Gordon going to the number 42. If you like nice to have the program concessions come Daytona, because they'll be everybody buying the numerical to see who's who.
And the T-shirts, you got to get all new T-shirts next year.
Silly season starts right after Daytona, it seems like, anymore. And right now there's going to be a lot of changes, but most of the good teams are sticking together.
Steve Grissom was on an interview on a local Birmingham television station the other evening and indicated he has pretty much got something put together. But Glenn, he was hesitant, at least on the interview I saw, to come out and say anything publicly, other than to kind of really let us think he's got something put together.
I saw him on pit road just, I don't know, well, might have been 5 hours ago. How long have we been here? It was sometime today I saw him, and he told me he did have a deal put together. He could not elaborate on it, but that it is with an existing team. So we should hear something. I asked him when the announcement would be made. He just grinned, shook his head, and walked off. So he can't say any more than that. In fact, I probably said more than he wanted me to.
But it'll be good to see him up there. And here we go, getting set to go back to green. It'll be 496 on the board now. Green flag. Again, single file restart. Lead lap cars only at the head of the field.
Jeff Gordon come down there, kind of lagged the brake a little bit, made Rusty back off a little bit, showered down on it. Great start.
He's done a great job in every one of these restarts.
Gordon looking for his 8th win of the year and his 3rd in succession here at Dover Downs in Delaware.
Eli, look at the first 6 cars here. It's going to be a race right down to the checkered flag here. These guys are really going at it. The first 6 cars are nose to tail.
Remember early in the race when Gordon drifted back, and you might have wondered what's going to happen. Is he in trouble? That crew never gave up. Gordon never gave up. And here he is in the lead as this thing winds down.
2 laps to go.
Looks to me like Dale Jarrett's moving in there in 3rd spot. He's giving Rusty a hard time as they start down towards the back straightaway. You see Jeff Gordon coming down through there. Dale Jarrett is there.
Of course, Gordon says, have at it, boys. Jeff pulls away. Coming to the white flag. The final time around the Monster Mile. Jeff Gordon trying to grab the NASCAR Winston Cup point lead from Terry Labonte. The $70,000 Winston leader bonus. And be a three-peater here at Dover Downs. Goodness, that team is good. His 17th career win. Jeff Gordon from Pittsboro, Indiana wins it. Rusty Wallace 2nd. Jarrett is 3rd. Bobby Labonte comes home in 4th. Mark Martin will finish 5th. Rick Mast comes home 6th. And there you see all the way back to Bobby Hill, and he'll cross the line in 12th spot here today. 500 miles in the books. And the 13th Chevrolet win of 1996. Jeff Gordon starts 3rd and wins the MBNA 500. We're coming back. We're going to Victory Lane, then right up to Reading, Pennsylvania. We'll be there for drag racing next on TNN.
Today's coverage of the MBNA 500, presented by Gladiator Vans on TNN, has been brought to you by Texaco Clean System 3 Gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. By the Miller Brewing Company, proud sponsor of the Miller Racing Team. We race for beer. By Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. And by Nicotrol. 6 weeks, 1 step. Take control with Nicotrol.
It is all over here at the Monster Mile. Jeff Gordon just now getting out of his car in Victory Lane. Let's go down to Glenn Jarrett. Glenn?
And a victorious Jeff Gordon climbs out 3 in a row here at Dover, but the last 50 miles looks like it took forever, all those restarts.
Well, it sure did. You know, I'm just really thankful. I'm just really thankful to have a good car there at the end. I want to thank God, certainly on our side again today. I want to thank DuPont Automotive Finishes. This is their hometown. Nothing sweeter than to win in their backyard. Quaker State, Goodyear Tire had a great tire today, and Coca-Cola, all our sponsors. I mean, this is just a great day for this whole team. They did an awesome job.
Well, he said everything I was going to ask him, so let's go back upstairs.
All right, Glenn, our congratulations. Meanwhile, after the race ended, there was a confrontation between Michael Waltrip and Kyle Petty. and they had gotten with each other as soon as they got out of the race cars. They got together again. The officials were there. Obviously, Kyle wanted to walk away. Michael wanted to explain his side. They finished side by side, 8th for Kyle and 9th for Michael Waltrip. Time now for the Pit Crew of the Race Award, brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, proud sponsor of the Miller Racing Team. We race for beer. Back to Glenn.
Well, as is customary on TNN, we give the Miller Pit Crew Award. When they win to the winning crew chief, it's Ray Evernham, and man, you got to build a whole room in your house to hold all these things.
Well, I'm able to accept these for the guys. You know, we got to thank God first because he's the one who allows us to do this, but it just says an awful lot about this team. We got behind a couple times today, you know, got that one set of tires that was funny and had that caution when we wanted to pit, and these guys fight back, and Jeff Gordon is just a phenomenal driver, and we knew we'd keep messing with that tire pressure until we hit the combination, and finally it was good at the end. But you know, we're awful lucky to have that little guy driving this race car.
He certainly did a good job. Everything's funny now, nothing but smiles here in Victory Lane. Congratulations, Ray.
Ray Evernham and the fellows winning the Miller Award. Also the RCA Pit Strategy Award, brought to you by RCA, changing entertainment again. All the post-race honors going to the DuPont team. A quick look at the finishing order for you. Jeff Gordon, of course, picks up the win, his 3rd in a row here. And there you see the top 10, including Bobby Hamilton, who came home in the 10th spot. The point standings will be led by Jeff Gordon leaving here today. We'll mention that race day, normally seen today at this hour, will be on at midnight Eastern time. But we are out of time because they are staging right now in Reading, Pennsylvania, the Keystone Nationals NHRA Winston Drag Racing. For Buddy Baker, Dick Berggren, Glenn Jarrett, and Randy Pemberton, I'm Eli Gold. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week with more, but right now stay tuned. NHRA Winston Drag Racing from Reading, Pennsylvania, next on TNN.